This is Reverend Ruth on Story Bob with Angel Healing Ministries, and we are still here at Hempstead Lake State Park. I went right back to this pond because I saw a huge bird, which turned out to be an osprey. So, and I still found out I have daylight till about 7:50, and I got plenty of sunlight here. It seems great. Awesome. And the wind has calmed down from, remember when we were up on that bridge, how it was windy? Now the wind has calmed down, and I found it's going to rain for the next few days. So let's get this. I just wanted to do this quick video, and I wanted to see what I was seeing. And again, I love this place. You see behind me, this is another one of the ponds that over here at Hempstead Lake. You've seen me here before. I've been to this pond a couple times, and this is usually where they say the owls hang out, but they haven't really been any. They're probably nesting, from what my friends told me. They're probably nesting, and they've got babies, so they're watching out for those right now. And I wanted to talk about something called Answer the Call. And Answer the Call is, you remember how we wonder about what our life is going to be and stuff like that. And sometimes we have to wait for the call. What happens, my friends, is this. Before we're born, we're up there in heaven with Mother, Father, God. And of course we talk about, a bunch of things and what we want to do with our lives. And then we make a promise that when the call comes out to do the work that we have to do, my friends, we'll answer the call. And sometimes we don't really get a chance, we don't get a chance to, we wait for a long time for the call to reach us. And we wonder when it's going to happen. And usually when we get a call from Mother, Father, God, it usually is to help someone or deliver a message somewhere. And we do that because we want to finish do our work for Mother, Father, God. And when we answer the call, you never know what it's going to be. I mean, I for instance, you see, I answered my call as a minister, and I had a near-death experience that helped me realize that's what I wanted. That's what I was going to wind up doing. And what happened, my friends, was that in the beginning, I had the opportunity. I was asked if I wanted to be a lay pastor for my church, but I said at 18, why would I want to do something like that when I have my whole life ahead of me? Teenagers want to do their thing and do what they're going to do. So, of course, I at that point, I didn't bother. But for some reason, the people from the church knew that God had another plan for me, that one day that there would be a call for what I was going to wind up doing. They knew that at some point I was going to become a minister, but they didn't know how. And I had to actually, believe it or not, I actually had to get married and move away from New York to go to Arizona to answer that call. Because what happened during my near-death experience, my friends, and you've heard me talk about this many times before, I had this experience where I was walking down in a garden with the angel of death, and at that point I was Andrew because I was a big fan of Touched by an Angel, and he was walking with me to the garden, and I'm watching all this wonderful stuff happening around me. I'm watching all these plants dancing and having a wonderful time. I'm watching all these animals living in harmony with human beings, because so many years ago, before what happened, we were able to get along with the animals, with the big cats and the big dogs, like the wolves and the foxes and the mountain lions, all these creatures, these felines and canines, all these animals that were wild. We were able to get along with them, and that's why the Native Americans seem to be the ones that seem to get along with animals more, because they're so in touch with that thing. And I do my best to be in touch with nature. I mean, I never had an experience like one of my friends, Larry, had when he was out hiking. He was doing a vision quest, and he was sitting by a brook drinking. There was another animal drinking. A mountain lion drinking water from the stream or this brook or this creek, this place. I can't remember what it was anymore. I think it was a watering hole, he called it. And this happened on his vision quest in Arizona, where he was. I guess he must have been in the higher part of Arizona, because that's where there's water in the valley and stuff. But he went on this vision quest, and he was actually he was kneeling side by side with this mountain lion. This the mountain lion. Because he didn't show the fear for the mountain lion, what happened? He went to the mountain lion. He acknowledged that he was there, and he asked permission if he could drink from the same stream as the mountain lion. And the mountain lion had no problem with it. The mountain lion gave him the okay, and they were both drinking from the same watering hole, you see, near the stream. And, I mean, he didn't show any fear. I mean, I wouldn't go and do this on my own, for sure. I mean, you would need the proper training and everything. But it's something that can happen. If you're really connected to nature, my friends, you might be amazed on what you can do. I got so close to a coyote once because of our connection, me and the coyote. And I knew the coyote was there to guide me to wherever I was meant to go and stuff like that. And I was right there in front of the coyote, just, talking with it, just standing there. My ex-husband, well, I was married to the man I was married to at the time. He couldn't believe it. He was like, okay, that's interesting. But it's true. You can actually get close. You can, if you have the knowledge and the experience, you could get close to a wild animal, but I would not recommend it unless you know what you're doing. Because when you show fear, and it's the same with bees, my friends, if you don't show fear to a bee, you can easily, like my spiritual dad Bert did once. He stuck his finger in a beehive, from what he told me, into a whole group of bees, and without the fear, nobody stung him. They just let him do what he did. It's amazing. I mean, I don't know too much about this stuff, but I do know I have a connection where nature's concerned. But we're not talking about the connection to nature. I don't know how I got into that, but what we're talking about is answering the call. I guess I kind of was talking about answering the call, and then I kind of leaned into the connection with nature. And maybe this is about both. And but when it comes to answering the call, God calls us to do certain things in life. And it's not always easy, my friends, the stuff that God asks us to do. I mean, I've been a minister now for a long time, and it hasn't been the easiest road, but it's been an amazing road. And what I've been through, what I've experienced, and I'm enjoying it a lot, my friends. I really am. And I love my ministry path that I do. I really do. And I really enjoy answering to the community and going and doing what I have to do. And sometimes, and I can use stories to explain to you, like for example, when you answer the call, you may not know why you're going there or what the reason is for it. But I know of a woman, when me and one of my friends was caught up at Bell Rock in Arizona, and we were lost, and my connection to nature, I asked the nature elements what direction we're supposed to be going. The coyotes were starting to howl and everything, and she was getting scared. It was getting dark. And I had to tell my friend, don't worry about it. We're going to be okay. Trust me. I know nature. You have nothing to worry about. So I asked the wind, and the wind blew in the opposite direction we were going, which meant we were going in the wrong way. And well, we followed the wind, and when it died, we couldn't find our way out. And then all of a sudden, this car pulls into the parking lot, and the headlights slide out the path, which wasn't very far from where me and my friend were. I mean, she was visiting me in Arizona, and I can say her name was Serena, and she was visiting me in Arizona, and we got lost up in Bell Rock. And when she came to visit me, we only could trust nature to find our way. And then when we found our way, she was amazed, and we were both grateful that this woman did that. And we asked her, we said to her, whatever brought you into the parking lot? I don't know. She said, I felt this feeling, this pull just to pull into the parking lot. And here you two are. Were you lost up there? Yeah, we were lost up there, we told her. And God used her to get me and my friend Serena out of the woods of Bell Rock. because we were lost, basically. And she helped us get through that because she felt that pull to pull into the parking lot. And there we are, and we came down from the hills, from the mountain, or from Bell Rock, and there she was. The path was lit up for us. You see, I mean, sometimes the call is so small. It's not always necessarily a big call. Sometimes it's a small call that we get, not a huge one, my friends. And 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 we just, we need to follow. We make this promise to Mother, Father, God that we'll go when you call us to go. And if you've read the Holy Bible, and I've read it, you notice there were numerous people that were in the Holy Bible that were called to do God's work and stuff, like David and Jacob and Joseph and Mary and Ruth was that character Ruth, or that woman Ruth, was in the fields picking the wheat off the ground, and how Boaz saw her one day. He felt this strong pull, and there she was, and the two connected. I mean, it could be as much as little as that, you see. Ruth and Boaz are a beautiful love story. You should read it. It's a wonderful story about a woman who's really fighting to live her life, and how God helps her and her mother Naomi, and how Boaz comes and finds them. And there are just so many other like Gideon. There are just so many other people in the Bible that answered the call, like Moses, but you have to be open to the call. We forget when we come here that we're going to call until something actually happens that reawakens us inside. And then when the call comes, it's like this feeling that I must do this. And you just go. And that's what it is, my friends. You just go and do the call. And when you make that call, you never know what it's going to be. Sometimes it's to help a person who's lost in the forest, or maybe it's another person who needs help at the house with something, or maybe it's a total stranger who just who needs guidance. The call can happen anywhere, any place, when you're open to it. And when we're open to it, my friends, we get that call. We hear that call. We feel that call. And our best bet is to respond, because we made that promise so long ago in our lives to God before we came here. We made this promise that we make this promise that we're going to make this call, because part of our job here on this planet, my friends, is to answer the call. We go where God sends us. And that's how we make our call. We go where God sends us to go and tells us to go. You mean you never know where you're going to wind up. Like, I wound up in Arizona. And what happened in Arizona, my friends, was I became a minister. And the funny part is, it was a near-death experience that awakened my spirit to become a minister. And when my husband at the time, I was gone for a long time during the surgery. And when I came out, the first words out of my mouth when I woke up were, we need to find a church that has a ministerial program. And he couldn't believe it. He was like, really? And then I told him about my experience and how I met Jesus in the light, and how Jesus told me that I need to go back and teach his word. The word, and go in between the lines that people miss. And as we go in between the lines, see what's really there. What God really wants us to do. And if you really look between the lines, you'll be amazed. And as studying as a minister, how I discovered how many stories from the Christian faith led into a bunch of other faiths, or were similar, but different stories, different different things that were going on. And we do our best to make our lives a success at times. And it's not easy because sometimes we get nervous and scared, and it's pretty easy to do that. And sometimes when we get the call from God, my friends, we think it's nuts to follow it. But God never said it was going to be an easy road. God never said it was going to be an easy road for us. I'm sure a numerous amount of you out there that have had answered calls, and it hasn't been an easy one. But what happens with just enough faith and belief, my friends? It works its way. It works out, my friends. So if you made a promise to Mother, Father, God, and when that call comes, answer the call. Because it could lead you to amazing things. You don't know what or where. I mean, I've heard stories of people who are just walking, all of a sudden they get this crazy feeling to go on a Christian sabbatical, or is that, I don't know if that was the right word, but to go on a journey to someplace. And they just pack up all their things and go. It's the call, and you don't know how you're gonna live or what you're gonna live, but when you have the faith in God, they get you through. And we have to believe that. We really have to believe that in ourselves, wholeheartedly, my friends. Because if we don't believe enough, whatever it is we're aiming for may not come to be. So the path is there, the destiny is there waiting for you. But also, you can stop it by not following the way it's supposed to be, my friends. So when things get rough and hard, don't get discouraged. Don't give up. Keep going. It's easy when so many things feel like they're against you. I mean, I felt that way myself these past couple days with the job and everything that I lost. And one of my friends had to remind me that God has got something better for me. My mom thinks that one day I'll have a church of my own. I don't even know when. I believe it. I mean, I want a spiritual center more, and I can have the church within that. But it's getting there, which isn't going to be an easy road. There are a lot of challenges I'm going to run into. I think that was a cat. There are a lot of challenges I'm going to run into over time in my life, my friends. And you will too. Don't give up at the first moment that it doesn't look good, my friends. We love you, and we love you. So, my friends, keep pushing forward despite what happens. Don't let discouragement stop you from reaching your path, my friends. Become who you're meant to be. Don't give up if it doesn't work out right away. Don't give up. So easy to say that. And sometimes we really, really have to have faith. It's an important part of life, my friends. Thanks. And when the call comes, answer the call, my friends. You'll know, your heart will know if it's the right call. We love you. Namaste. And this is Reverend Ruth on Star Your Bar with Angel Healing Ministries at Hempstead Lake State Park, down by the water. Well, one of the ponds anyway. I don't know which one it is, but it is one of the ponds, and it's beautiful here. Get out here. It's so beautiful. If you're in New York, if anywhere near here, just come. See the migration that I just found out about that came, my friends. But remember, when the call comes, answer the call. We love you. Namaste. And if you like this video, please click the like button and subscribe. We love you. Namaste. And again, this is Reverend Ruth on Star Your Bar with Angel Healing Ministries. We love you. Bye.